This article here is from Screen Rant. It's written sometime in August 2023. It says published 3 days ago, so I don't have an exact date, but it's pretty recent. And it says, how Johnny Depp's only movie with Amber Heard became a forgotten $45 million critical disaster. Now, I will say this. Unfortunately, it's not going to be forgotten because of the court case and things like that, and the fact it's been mentioned as the movie they've been in together so many times. But you could say forgotten as far as its content and its actual value as a movie. There could be multiple reasons for this, but what they're saying is it's the only one they were in together, and it did pretty bad. Now, to be honest, I haven't seen it, but I did watch the trailer, and you can't judge a performance by a trailer, but from what I've seen, it didn't feel like one of those roles where Johnny felt not like Johnny at all, like a totally different person. I heard some of his casual talking voice come out, unlike, say, Donnie Brasco, where I didn't even know it was him till the credits rolled. But let's see what they have to say about why it was a disaster. Johnny and Amber have been in the news for all the wrong reasons in recent years, so some people may forget that they were actually in a movie together, The Rum Diary, and it was a box office disaster. Depp and Heard have been known more for their equanimous split and subsequent lawsuit than for their body of work in recent years. The Johnny and Amber trial, tabloid headlines have understandably caused audiences to forget that both are talented actors, but their talent wasn't enough to save the Rum Diary. Whoa! Come on, Screen Rant. Let's snap back into reality here. No, Amber is not a talented actor to just be put in the same category as Johnny Depp, who's been in the business for over 35 years now. I thought this was a movie site. Maybe they're a movie site on the surface with weird random opinions. But alright, I forgot Screen Rant here is not exactly on Johnny's side. But man, that comment's creepy. Alright, quite a few current and former celebrity couples met on the set of a movie, and it was no different for Depp and Heard. They met in 2009 while filming the movie, and their chemistry was evident. Even so, The Rum Diary didn't at all connect with audiences, and their movie ended up being a $45 million flop at the box office. They say Depp made The Rum Diary as a passion project, a tribute to his late friend, Hunter S. Thompson, and they go on to say that when you make something like this, when it's about your friend and there's passion, sometimes it might not come out exactly how it should. They use the words, it's a tricky thing to do. They say that Hunter's writing was entertaining and unique, but that might not translate to an on-screen visual personality, which is a fair theory. And they quote the film district president Bob Burney saying, probably at the end of the day, the whole Hunter thing attracts more of a cult audience. While he and Johnny were best friends and the movie is a tribute to Hunter, Hunter is still a little too extreme for the mainstream. Well, I must note that Fear and Loathing worked very well. And they're going to say here in a minute that Fear and Loathing was a similar project. I personally think, not for nothing, but the theme of doing all that crazy stuff, those illegal substances, probably connected with the audience better. I loved it. I thought Fear and Loathing was incredible, to be honest. At the time the Rum Diary's release in 2011, critics felt the same way as audiences. The Rum Diary reviews were mixed at best. While critics at the time praised Depp's clear love of the project, it wasn't enough to overcome the rambling and loosely told source material. Depp's acting was praised by some critics, and Heard got a fair bit of recognition, albeit for being attractive and sensuous. Yeah, at that time, that was pretty much her prime, physically. However, their skill and chemistry weren't enough to overcome the fact that the movie had no real momentum in critics' eyes or the lackluster pacing and oddly dark cinematography. They say, to this day, it holds a 51% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I guess at this point, there wasn't too much known about Amber. There wasn't a reason for the fans to dislike her and not watch it and things like that. I can't remember. In 2011, I was so busy moving to Japan and things, getting my job started and everything. I didn't notice the movie. But I'll safely assume at that point there was no drama with Amber. You never know what happened behind the scenes, even early on. Maybe she was demanding and pressuring and needy and things like that. It's a possibility. But to be fair, in all likeliness, it just didn't hit it with the audience in the same way Johnny wanted. It didn't quite translate over as this character piece in the same way Fear and Loathing did. Let me know what you think in the comments. Doing entertainment, pop culture, things like that. Usually, I do the human side of drama, court cases, divorce, things like that. But once in a while, I'll cover the movies that these stars are in and stuff like that, especially Johnny. And if you don't subscribe here, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time. However, their skill and chemistry weren't enough to overcome the fact that the movie had no real momentum in critics' eyes or the lackluster pacing and oddly dark cinematography. Can I say cinematography? I can't even say it in an outtake. Cinematography. Cinematography. However, their skill and chemistry weren't enough to overcome the fact that the movie had. Then I laugh at the fuck up. Take 3.